presenting Developing a Classroom Assessment Tool for Measuring Learning Outcomes, presented by Ascaño Mary Jane G, PASCUAL JOAN D, PUSAG ANTON MARC L, VELASCO Jared O. Introduction. We are having an overview. We have a table of specification, guidelines, preparation, step in constructing, assessment tools, test designing and construction. Also, we have a types of tests, also guidelines in test construction.
Good day everyone, I am Mary Jane Ascaño and I'm presenting the table of specification. So now, what is test planning? So ito na nga tayo. What is test planning? So, test planning is the process of designing and organizing assessment to enhance or measure the student's learning. So, dito daw po is to measure natin ng mga students when it comes to learning. So, we have also importance about this because it's ensure, test, and align with curriculum and learning objectives. So, the next is why is test planning is important? Bakit nga ba importante ang test planning? So, first, it ensures the test measure what is intended to measure. So, na-ensure daw natin kung ano daw po dapat i-measure. While it's also create a consistent and fair assessment. So, dito is parang sabi nga, it's fair assessment. And also, its effectiveness. It's provide meaningful feedback on students' learning. So, nagbibigay daw to ng feedback when it comes to students. So, the next slide. What is table of specification? So, dito na nga tayo. Ano nga ba ang meaning or definition nito ng TOS? So, it is a blueprint that outlines the content and cognitive levels to be covered in tests. Ayun nga daw po sabi. And while the purpose to this is to ensure the test measure what intended to measure and align with learning objectives. So, na-intend daw po yung measure o align ng learning objectives. So now, I'm gonna talk about the benefits of using a TOS or table of specification. The first is to improve test validity to ensure the tests cover all relevant content areas. It also aligns assessment with learning objectives. And also, we have a balanced assessments. So, in the balanced assessment, we distribute questions across different cognitive levels and also prevents overemphasis on specific topics, while we also have enhanced test reliability. It's also provide a consistent framework for the test construction. It's reduced subjectivity in assessment. Now, we have a guidelines for test planning. So first, we need to set clear learning objective. So, bakit nga ba kailangan natin mag-set ng clear learning objectives? First, objectives should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Or let's say, SMART. SMART. While the second one is align assessment with objectives. So, ano nga ba yun? Is to ensure test questions directly assess the stated learning objectives. While the consider cognitive levels, it includes questions that assess different level of thinking. Example, knowledge, comprehension, application. Yan. So, we also have an ensure content validity. Ano nga ba yun? to ensure the content validity. Ano nga ba kapag maririnig natin yan? So, ito po yung meaning niya. The test should be cover all relevant content areas in proportion to their importance. To their importance na po. So, next is write clear and ambiguous question. So, ano nga ba ang ambiguous question? It's avoid tricky or confusing wording. Para daw po hindi tayo maloko or mga confusing words. Next is provide clear instruction. So, ano nga ba ang kailangan natin to provide clear instruction? Siyempre, para hindi tayo malito, diba? So, ano nga ba to? Ensure students understand what is expected of them. So now, I'm gonna show you on how creating a table of specification. The first one is to identify content areas. List all major topics covered in the course. Next, to determine the relative importance of each topic. So, in the step 2 is to define learning objective. Specify what students should know and be able to do, align objective with content areas. While the step 3 is to determine cognitive levels. Decide the proportion of questions of each cognitive levels and consider the complexity of the content and objectives. So now, I'm gonna show you an example of TOS or Table of Specification. So in this part, we have a content area, which is the number operation, algebra, geometry, ratio, and proportion. While the learning objectives, we have a perform operations with fraction and decimal, and also solve linear equation with one variable. While the geometry, we have calculate area and perimeter of basic shape. And also the last one is to solve problem involving ratio and proportion. And also we have an other align, which is the knowledge, which is 25%. Also the comprehension and also application, they have same 30%. While the problem solving, we have 15%. And the total question. So dito sa total question, ilalagay natin yung mga participant or mga which is the total. So, like here, example, the knowledge we have 3, same to comprehension, while the application we have 2%, and also the problem solving is 1%. It's considered as 9, right? Same to other part. On algebra, we have 2 for knowledge, while the comprehension and application we have 3, while the problem solving we have 1. So total is 9. So ito-total natin yan lahat, which is apat sila, 9, 9, 9, 9. It's the total of 36. And that's all.
So hello everyone, my name is VELASCO and now we're going to the preparation. Number 1, clarify learning objectives. It is to ensure alignment with curriculum and course goals. Focus on what students should know or be able to do. Ito po, kailangan natin i-clarify yung mga learning objectives para malaman po natin kung ano po yung kaya ng mga student gawin at kung ano po yung mga kaya nilang matutunan. The next, identify target audience. It is to consider students' age, level, and learning needs. Tailor the assessment to their abilities. Dito naman po, kailangan nyo ma-identify yung target student nyo or yung audience nyo. Depende po sa kanilang age, level, and kung ano po yung mga kakayanan nila. Then, number 3, determine assessment purpose. Is it formative, summative, or diagnostic use? What kind of feedback do you want to gather? Dito naman po kailangan natin determine kung anong klaseng assessment purpose yung gagawin natin, kung ito ba ay formative, summative, or diagnostic, para di malaman natin kung anong klaseng feedback kung kailangan natin i-gather. Number 4, choose appropriate format. Match format to learning outcomes. Example, essays, quizzes, and projects. Then number 5, review existing tools, use or adapt existing assessment if they align with your goals, avoid duplication or irrelevant content. Ito naman po, kailangan natin i-review yung mga existing tools or existing assessment kung ito ay naka-align sa ating magiging goal. Then number 6, plan time and resources. Allocate time for development, piloting, and administration. It is also to ensure access to materials and technology. Ito naman po, kailangan natin mag-plan ng time and ng resources para maging tama po yung pag-allocate nating time para sa development, piloting, and administration. Then last, ensure accessibility and fairness. Make the assessment inclusive for all students and avoid bias in language, content, or format. Dito naman po kailangan natin maging fair sa lahat ng student. Wala po dapat maging bias or may pinapanigan, and that's all. Now, we're going to the steps in constructing assessment tools. Number 1, define learning outcomes. Dito po kailangan natin maging specific and measurable para sa ating magiging learning outcomes. Then number 2, choose assessment type. Magsasalik po tayo ng format that best measures the outcome. Example po dito is multiple choice, short answer, and project. Then number 3, develop assessment items. Create question or task that directly relate to the outcomes. Ensure clarity and relevance. Dito naman po mag-create tayo ng question or task dahil ito po yung ating magiging development na assessment items na directly na nakarelate sa ating outcome. Then number 4, align items with outcomes. Each item should measure one or more specific outcomes. Kailangan po pag mag-align tayo ng items, ang each item po dapat is nagme-measure ng one or more na specific outcome. Then number 5, write clear and unambiguous items. Avoid trick questions or ambiguous phrasing. Dito naman po, kailangan nating maging clear and pag-iwas po sa mga tricky questions para maging okay lahat and maging clear and malinaw. Then number 6, decide on scoring method. Dito po pwede tayong gumamit ng rubrics, point system, etc. Ganun. Then number 7, pilot and refine. Test the tool with a small group. Pwede tayong mag-use ng feedback to improve fairness and accuracy. Then number 8, administer final assessment. Kailangan natin ma-ensure ang consistent delivery to all students, provide clear instruction and fair environment. Dito naman po, kailangan natin mag-ensure ng consistent na pag-deliver sa lahat ng estudyante and pagbibigay po, pag-provide ng clear instruction para po sa fairness ng lahat. Then number 9, analyze and interpret results. Use data to evaluate student performance. Dito naman po, mag-use tayo ng data para ma-evaluate po natin yung mga performance ng isang estudyante para malaman po natin kung may improvement po ba sila or may bago pong nangyari. And yun lang po.
Hi, good day everyone. My name is JOAN PASCUAL and I'm from BSE 21M. For this part, me and Anton MARC PUSAG will discuss the last 3 part of our reporting, which is the test designing and construction. The second one is types of tests, and the third one is the guidelines on test construction. The first one that I will discuss is the test designing and construction. This part is also focuses on how to plan and create a test before writing the question. Teacher must be clear about what students should learn and what the test is supposed to measure. In the slide, know what you want to measure. For the learning objectives, meron tayong 4 na levels, which is the knowledge. The second one is the process, skills, or application. The third one is the understanding or the concept. And the last one is the product or the performance. For the knowledge, what it means is remembering information. Students will do the defining or the listing or the listing the name of events or other information. For the second one naman, yung process, skills, and application, what it means is using what they learn. For example, dito na pumapasok yung pagsosolve ng problem, applying their past experience, and pagde-demonstrate kung paano nga ba isolve yung isang bagay na ganito. And the third one is the understanding or the concept. What it means is showing deeper meaning or ideas. Student must be explain, compare, and interpret. Pumapasok dito, sa pagdating naman sa understanding, pumapasok dito yung mga bagay-bagay na pag-compare and pag-contrast or pros and cons nang sa ganun is ma-interpret ng students kung ano nga ba yung mga mahalaga or negative effects ng isang bagay na ganito. And the last one is the product or the performance. What it means is creating or showing a skills. Pumapasok dito yung pagiging maano mo sa bagay, pag-create ng mga projects, perform a task, personal skills na lumalabas yung pagiging talented, or yung mga naisip mong bagay para mas mapaganda pa yung isang bagay na ganito. And for the second table naman, meron tayong make a table of a specification, which is the TOS. Meron ditong table ng example of TOS. Ayan. And meron siyang, a TOS is ensures that the test matches what was taught. It also balances contents and cognitive levels. Maraming reason or important kung bakit mahalaga ang TOS, but magbibigay lang ako ng tatlong purposes nito, which is the number 1 is pair coverage of lessons, number 2 is balance difficulty, and the last one is prevent bias in the test items. Punta naman tayo sa pangatlong slides. Choose the right types of test items, the test types and what they measure. Kung hindi mo pa na-realize, but baka at the end of this video, ma-realize mo na every types of test pala is may mga skills tayong lumalabas na hindi natin napapansin. For example, yung test types meron kasi tayong test types na 5. Which is true or false, multiple choice, matching type, identification, and also the essay. For true or false, best siya for quick check of facts. For example, the Earth rotates on its axis. Parang common sense lang siya na sasabihin mo kung totoo ba siya or hindi. And the second one is multiple choice, best for knowledge, understanding, and application. For example, which of the following is pumapasok yung kaalaman mo and iniintindi mo yung kaalaman mo nang sa ganun ma-apply mo yung natutunan mo kung tama ba yung nasa choices na yon. And the third one naman is matching type. Best siya for vocabulary, pairs, and concept. For example, match terms with meanings. Kung familiar ka na sa salita na to, mas madali mo siyang masasagutan since ipag-prepare mo lang naman yung meaning and the questions. For the fourth one naman is identification, a specific recall, or the example is who is discovered ng ganitong bagay. And the last one is the essay. Best siya for deep thinking and explanation, which is mas lumalawak yung kaalaman mo kasi mas na-explain mo siya through your own opinion. The next slides naman is make sure the test is good quality. Meron tayong tatlong quality, which is the validity, reliability, and the usability. For the validity, ang meaning nito is the test measure what is supposed to measure. For the reliability naman, the test gives consistent results. For the usability, the test is easy to give and easy to check.
And alright, so thank you, Ma'am Joanne Pascual, for briefly explaining that. Now, as we proceed, I am Anton Mark PUSAG, wherein I present to you the different types of tests. We have different types of tests. First is the pencil and paper test. Second is the subjective test. And third is the constructing test items. Now, as we proceed, we have the pencil and paper test. We have 4 different pencil and paper tests. First is a simple recall test, wherein it is a common tool to measure knowledge acquired by the students. This includes, first is the identification, wherein we, or as a teacher, we construct items or we construct test items or questionnaires that the students should identify the answer. Second, the fill in the blanks, wherein as a teacher we construct test items wherein we purposely fill the blanks, or the students should fill in the blanks. Third is the enumeration, wherein we construct test items wherein we categorize or the students enumerate the answers. Second, the alternative responsive test. There is a wherein it is a 2 options or choices are provided to ensure simple yet meaningful conversation with the students. This also includes test questionnaires such as yes or no questions and true or false test. True or false test. The third pencil and paper test questionnaires is the multiple choice test, which is a common types of tests wherein it shows the versatile type test because it shows different outcomes. We conduct or we construct different test items when we give choices to the students, like the A, B, C, D choices, wherein it shows the different outcomes of the questions. So the fourth one or the last one is the matching type test, wherein it is a type of test that shows one-on-one or directly connection from one statement to another, wherein we construct 2 columns, column A and column B, and in the first column we give the questions and the second column we give the answers, or the one-on-one connection or direct connection with each other. The second type of test is the subjective test. We have 2 subjective tests: the essay test, which allowing the students the freedom of giving their own opinion and insights in the given or certain topic. In this type of test or the essay test, we give the certain question, and as a student they show their own opinions, the rightful insights on the given topic. And the second subjective test is the restricted response item, wherein the students are generally given the selection or on any factual information that can help organizing their response. In this restricted response test, we given the students the factual information, and then the students give their opinions again. Now, as we proceed, we have on the third one or the third types of test, it shows the constructing test items. In constructing test items, we have 3. In this slide, it should be constructing test items, not subjective test. We have 3: matching exercises, multiple choice items, and the essay question. First one is the matching exercises, which it allows the students to explore, memorize, and be familiarized with the lesson. And matching exercises, like in the in the pencil and paper test, it was like this matching type test, wherein it is a connection of 1:1 connection. Now, for the multiple choice item, it is testing the students to be more broad and think wisely before answering the test. In the multiple choice items, we given them different choices wherein the students should be more broad and think wisely before answering the test papers. Now for the third and last, the essay question. It is subjective to the students to give the rightful insights, share their thoughts, and freedom of expressing their ideas. Just like in subjective test, wherein the essay test is given, in this essay question, it is given to the students that they should give their rightful insights. And now, that's it. Now, as we proceed, Ms. JOAN Pascual also again will present the guidelines on test construction.
Hi again, my name is JOAN Pascual, and this is the last part of our reporting, which is all about guidelines on test construction. In general guidelines, KISS rule represent keep it simple and straightforward. Ang sinasabi lang dito is use simple and clear words, make items short and easy to read, test only one idea per question, avoid tricky or confusing words, and the last one is make sure instructions are clear. And my past video, sinabi ko sa inyo or in-explain ko sa inyo yung 5 test types ng mga questions. And dito tatalakayin natin yung mga rules nila and i-explain ko kung ano nga ba yung mga yon. For the multiple choices, dapat malinaw ang tanong para alam agad ng mga students kung ano nga ba yung hinahanap nila. And then, isa lang dapat ang tamang sagot. Huwag gawing dalawang imposible kasi mas nakakalito yung ganun. Ang rule din kasi nito is, ang maling sagot ay dapat mukhang pwede para hindi obvious kung alin yung mali. Ayan. And the second one is the true or false. Ang rules naman nito is maiksi at dapat diretso yung sentence para madaling maintindihan. Second one is huwag gumawa ng statement or sentence na may dalawang idea dahil mas nakakalito yun. And the last one is kung pwede wag iwasan yung mga salitang not or never na salita dahil mas madali silang nagkakamali doon. And the rule naman for matching type is lahat ng nasa A at B ay dapat magkakaugnay sa isang topic. The second one is dapat malinaw kung paano imamatch yung items nila. And the third one is dapat nasa isang page lang para hindi nagbabalik ng page or yung mga estudyante na ililipat pa yung page para mas hanapin lang yung nawawala. And the last one is mas maraming sagot kaysa sa tanong para hindi madali hulaan. And yung rules naman for identification or short answer is dapat tiyak yung or sure yung tanong para iisa lang yung tamang sagot. Second one is hindi malabo o sobrang lawak ng tanong para mas madali silang masagutan. Yung last one naman is maikling sagot lang ang kailangan tulad ng pangalan, lugar, petsa, or even the term. Mabilis kasi sagutan or malinaw kung anong mga hinahanap at iisa lang ang dapat na tamang sagot. For essay naman, may rules din siya, essay question. Ang rule na to is ginagamit para sukatin ang malalim na pag-iisip ng isang estudyante para ma-develop nila yung mga critical thinking nila. For clear task words naman, gamitin yung mga salitang pwede mo siyang ipag-compare mo yung isang bagay para mas lumawak pa yung gusto mong sabihin. Yun lang. Thank you for watching.